What I wanted to ask you two ladies is, first of all, which learners method were you looking at?
We were looking at Learner B.
Learner B. And that was the one with the 4 plus all the 3s?
Yeah.
Okay, and I thought I heard you saying that the 4 was the 4 that were there to start with. Is that in what pattern was that? Where did you see the 4?
Well, I was seeing the 4 in how many things I was supposed to be adding, because I was looking at, there was as many patterns as you can think of, and then at pattern 11 there'd be 34 buttons in all, and then there'd be 3 11s and, well, 3 11 pairs of white buttons, and then 1 little black button. And so there's 11 and 11 and 11, and then the little black button. So there's 4 things you were supposed to be adding.
Oh, okay. So that was where the 4 came from? And did you agree with that?
Yeah.
Okay. When you were describing to the class that method, and you said 4 plus 11 3s, is that how you saw the 4 originally then? Or was this different now? Is this a different way of...
It was a bit of a different way of thinking it because we were a bit confused at first.
I see. I have one other question. Did you count how many 3s were actually added?
Yeah. Yeah, we did. There was only 10 3s and 1 4, so...
Oh, is that where the confusion was?
Yeah, that's where we were confused.
Okay. Thank you.
I see how Maddie and Kelsey were thinking about it, and I think that that's right, but I still think that Morgan and Eric and I were, more right.
Okay, now I'm intrigued by that statement, that you guys were more right. So when in saying that, are you saying that there is one way is a more correct way to look at this pattern than another? Or tell me a little bit more about what you mean by more right.
Well, I understand how Maddie and Kelsey were seeing it, and I get how it would be right, but I still feel that ours is more, it's kind of, I see how they were doing it, and I see how they would have come to that, but I still think that ours is right.
And based on what? On some of the mathematics that you were seeing, or some of the mathematics that you were doing, or what was it that makes you feel more tied to your way of explaining the pattern or looking at the pattern?
Well, the main thing that I think was the difference between our strategy and theirs was that they had from pattern 2 to 3, they still had the same, so they had the main 4, and then the ones in the different color that were being added, from the ones that they had added on pattern 2 were still the same color that meant the ones that were being added on pattern 3. And ours had changed to be the different color that meant that they were just staying like that. And I think that ours is right because 3 plus 3 plus 3, it's true that they started with the 4 and the 3s are being added. But once the 3 is added to the 4, it's 7, but not 3 plus 4. It's both, but it's more 7 than 3 plus 4, sort of.
So is what's staying the same shifting from pattern 1 to pattern 2?
In which one?
The one that you were just describing, where you said that where you broke it apart is 4 plus 3, it's really 7.
Well, it's both, but if it was like a math problem, 3 plus 4, I would say it was 7, not 3 plus 4.
So you guys were both looking at Learner B, correct?
Yeah.
Okay. So it was just, were you finding some difficulty with the way it was being represented using the different colors from pattern to pattern? Was that giving it a different meaning as it was going from pattern to pattern in your mind?
Yeah.
Okay. And so you like the way that you represented it graphically. That seemed to be a more accurate way of representing what was going on than the way they were doing it graphically?
To me, yeah.
Okay. But was there any difference in the number of buttons in pattern 2 from the one you were doing and their pattern 2? So the number of buttons were the same. You guys were just representing it differently. Okay. Thank you.
Maddie and Kelsey, I got a chance to talk with you while you were working, and I was very interested in the way you were explaining how you were seeing this pattern growing. And you had student A, is that correct?
No. B, sorry.
You had B? Okay. Would you like to tell us how you saw that pattern growing?
Well, we thought the ones that were staying the same, we thought they were staying the same through like all the patterns, not just like from pattern to pattern.
Okay,
So
and
it was like always 4, not like 4 and then 7 and then 10.
okay, and the 4 were where? Where did you see the 4 in the
The
pattern?
4, we saw the 1 in the middle and then the 3 surrounding it.
So that was always there no matter what pattern number? Is that correct?
That's what we thought the learner got the 4 from, because what the learner did was he did 3 11s. Well, he meant to do 11, but he only did 10. And then he added a 4. So we were puzzling how he got that 4, and we came up with the explanation of how he got the 4.
And you also noticed that he only added 10 threes, is that
I
right?
think that was just a mistake, because he at the bottom of it, he had each thing numbering the 3s, and he did 11, but he really only put down 10 3s, but that was just a mistake. So.
And did you check it out mathematically to see that that 11 threes plus 4 would give you 34? Did you see if that worked?
It was 10 threes. So
But it was 10 threes, so 10 threes worked, plus the 4, and gave you 34. And you believe that 34 was the right answer.
Yeah.
But you don't know where but you still think it should have been 11 threes.
No. Right?
Well, the way that we were thinking it and our thinking was, but when we looked at this person's work, we saw it different.
Okay, all right, that's fair. Do you think it's possible that people can look at the very same pattern and see it growing differently and still get the same total number of buttons?
Yeah, definitely.
Okay, and did it help you to look at other students' thinking? Because was this the same as your thinking, or was it different?
It was different.
Mine was learners A's thinking. We did learners B, though.
Okay, so you saw it the way learner A did. Could you sort of describe that? What did learner A see staying the same?
What learner A did is the person didn't exactly see things staying the same, in my opinion. What they did is they just saw that there was 3 sides of the whole problem, like on the buttons chart over there. And then they did 11 times 3, because there was 11 strips of buttons where they're supposed to be. It was problem 11, and then they added 1 because there's the middle button.
Oh, so that 1 was always there?
The middle button?
The 1? So that would be, you would be adding, no matter what pattern you looked at, you would always start with 1, because that was in the middle? And then you're adding groups of 3? Is that what you're saying? In groups of 3, because it was growing different ways?
Maddie, do you want
In 3 ways.
In 3 ways. Interesting. Well, girls, thank you very much.